Nice to be here. Hello. Hello. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. You are perfectly audible.
Yeah. My name is Anmol Banerjee. I'm from Kolkata, India, and I'm a research scholar in Calcutta University. And there's quite an amount of work that uh, I'm getting to know. There's quite an amount of knowledge I'm gaining regarding R. R, as we understand, is a very, very important program which is rampantly used across all walks of life now. And now that we have, now it became very, very important for us to learn these subjects. Even though I'm dealing in the field of life sciences, and now we have a lot of data generation in our field. Now, accumulating that data is easier than analyzing the data. And so analyzing the data appropriately is another art. So that you get the correct inferences, and the inferences that you get are actually useful, and you do not miss out on important signals that is emanating from the data itself. So I'm getting to learn a lot from Dr. Parmar, and so I think I really appreciate your effort, and I hope that you keep continuing with such programs that would be really beneficial to people from different walks of life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. And we have, that upcoming session next week also for the intermediate session. That those who will be completed the basic, because right now we are doing the foundation program. So next week we have a intermediate program. You can join that also.
Okay.
And the details is already that posted on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Cypher Analytica. So you can just go to the page and you can just read about that and register yourself for the intermediate program.
Okay, and I really like to thank you as well, because you have been coordinating it excellently, and I think the coordination part is once again an important aspect, along with the knowledge that you are providing.
Thank you.
So thanks a lot to you as well.
Thank you. Now I'll spotlight Mr. Peter.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Peter from Nigeria, University of Ilorin to be precise. I'm a research assistant working in the laboratory here. I'm into the field of molecular biology and into molecular biology and biotechnology. And I aspire to be a renowned geneticist and technologist and be able to work on plants for molecular breeding and to give notable and worthy varieties to improve agricultural production and quality yield all around the world. So I'm partaking in these tutorials, this series of training, so as to know how to better handle the data I generate from my studies on plants. Thank you.
You enjoying the session with the Dr. Parmar? Are you liking the session of Dr. Parmar?
So thank you.
I think I'm not audible to him. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Peter. Now I'll go to Mr. Masood.
Hi there. Hi there. I'm audible.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Myself, Masoodul Hasan Adil, and I am a research scholar in Mumbai School of Economic and Public Policy in Economics. And of course, I am very much highly indebted to the Cyber Analytica, because the way they are providing the social services to the scholars and many different parts of the world and across, like in India and outside the India as well. And since R is a very much powerful tools as compared to other softwares like eViews or Stata or RATS, which we are using in economic sciences, but the R is much more powerful than these softwares, because the underlying codes and computing, which command we are providing to the any kind of model or any kind of computation, we are knowing that what we are doing, right? So is if we take the Stata software, so there is command based or menu based system is there in eViews as well, but it's too difficult to know what is going on behind those commands and all. So R is in that terms, it's very much powerful to understand and all. And whatever we want, the way we want, we can do in R. So in that terms, it's very much helpful. And I do hope that it will, in my research work, it will help a lot. And also I request to Cyber Analytica that if possible, then please do the workshop in time series or econometrics, which is the very much powerful tools to use in the research analysis of economic sciences. So please do that. I would be highly
Sure,
obliged to you, sir. And
sure.
thanks a lot to Dr. Pramar sir, Praveen Pramar, and Mr. Mukesh sir, that they are coordinating and conducting very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We look forward that you join our other programs also. Next week we have intermediate program, then we will have a advanced program also, where all the things which you have discussed will be covered there in advanced program.
Sure, sir. Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'll come back to again to Mr. Lakshmi. Now you are ready? You have to unmute. Not audible. You are not audible. Looks like your microphone has an issue. We were able to hear you before. Not audible. We are not able to hear. It was fine before. Now can you speak?
Yes, sir. I am audible.
Yes, yes, perfectly well now. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Finally it worked. Yes.
Good evening to all. It's me, Lakshmi Prasad Safkota from Nepal, and I'm the lecturer of Tribhuvan University of Nepal in statistics, and also I'm the PhD scholar of DDU Gorakhpur University, India.
Okay.
And this program is very fruitful for me, like PhD scholar in the field, and the R software programming is very important to us whose background is statistics. Data analysis is very important for every study. That's why this program is very fruitful for us. And thank you for Mukesh. So you are coordinating and conducting very well, and you manage such a greatly, and you conduct this program in 2 shifts is also very nice. For me, this evening time, 7 to 9 is very suitable for me. Yes, once again, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think all you know that credit should go to Dr. Parmar. You know that he is tirelessly working for us. You know that he worked day, just 5 to 7 he work, and then 7. He has other sessions also internationally programs in the daytime also. So he worked tirelessly. So I really respect his hard work.
Yes,
so
yeah.
All credit goes to him.
Yeah,
And
yes.
this program
Definitely.
also, because we were tagged, you know, that 5 to 7, we were not expecting that to start this program. But suddenly, when we see that it is overpacked, we announce this 7 to 9 program so that nobody get missed.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Sir, another information.
Yeah.
Are you going to conduct another program after this for 10 days workshop?
Yes, just next week we have 7 to 9, 10 days intermediate program. If you have done the foundation program, you can join that program.
Okay, okay. I will definitely join.
Join that program.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. So now I'll go to another participants of ours. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
If I am, your name is Piak Sok?
Yes, my name is Piak Sok.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, I am university staff, and I work for the university, Royal University of Agriculture in Cambodia. And mostly I work with the climate change project that I can support to the university project development, especially for climate change related topic and agriculture. So I hope it will be helpful for me to join this program, as I have a little bit background regarding OHA program. That's why I joined this program. It's really important for me and also for my future career. And I also have a part-time teaching class for university student. So yes, it will be very helpful to me. And I hope after joining this program, I can contribute to the university at for the undergraduate students, so they can have this class, and we will promote this OR program to our university student, to learn and to interest and to study more about this program, because I think in my university not so many students they have the knowledge of all program. I think only just a small part of them they can use all program, so maybe not so many students or many. Yes, but so I hope this will be important for me and for the other student or other people in my university, so I can contribute to them is for the near future after this learning, because I also work for because in my university I also in charge of a climate change unit. So this one it will be building capacity of the students and also lecturer, young, we can say young researcher from university level. So my center, sorry, my unit will be help them to build knowledge, especially climate change and also agriculture and forestry. So they need.
Looks like we lost his connection. Okay, no worries. We'll connect again back with him.
Basic of statistics. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly well.
Okay, yeah.
Thank
So
you very much.
my unit is in charge of capacity building, and we will build capacity of university student and lecturer, young researcher in the field of climate change and agriculture and forestry. So it means we need a basic knowledge of statistics. I mean, from basic statistic up to the high level. So we start from me. Yeah, I hope I can contribute to my university.
Surely, this is basic program we are running. We'll have more advanced program also where you can join us from next
Yes,
week.
I will join. Yeah, I will join
Thank you very much. Same as our love and regards to all Cambodia people from India.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Dr. Parveen Parmar is here. Sir, you there?
Yes, sir.
You can start, sir.
Yes, sir, I am here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
And one more small announcement, sir. I think from tomorrow we can merge this batch to the. I mean that tomorrow and day after, can we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think today in that batch, how many were there? I think this 80,
75.
70, 75. Well, there is 27.
So I think we will able to merge it.
We could merge it.
So from tomorrow, this batch will be 5 to 7 rather than 7 to 9. So it will be merged with the main batch. So all of you, please join tomorrow 5 o'clock rather than 7 o'clock. I'll make a mail also and message also in group. All right. Thank you. The credential will be same. You just join 2 hours before. Right now you're joining 7 o'clock. You will join 5 o'clock Indian time. Remember, it's Indian time 5 p.m. So you join 2 hours before than what you join regularly. So from tomorrow, the session will be merged with the previous batch. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thanks, sir. Welcome, everyone. Let's continue the session where we have left yesterday. And I just share my screen with you. I think you're all getting my screen on your window. Okay. And yesterday we were studying about the list. Okay. So I just remove these all. And I take one new script, and I also remove this from console, and this also. In list, we have seen yesterday, we have created so many lists of various types. Okay. So here I am creating one list, which is L1. L1. And this list I am creating with few numbers. Okay. And another list I am creating L2. Which is name of some countries. These two lists I have created, and I want to merge these two lists. Okay. So how we could merge the list, I will show you. I am giving the new list named L3, and I am going to merge these two lists, which is the L1. L1 I will show you how does it look like. So I printed it, and it is my L1 256107, and it is my L2. Sorry, I will run it. I will print it, so you will see USA, India, and Nepal. And the third list, I am merging these two lists. So I have function use list itself. And I just write the name of the list, what I have created, L1, comma L2. And just run it. And now I will show you the L3 list. You see, this is my L3 list. This is the first sub list of L3, which is the L1. L1 starts from here. It is again L1. Okay. Its first sub list. First sub list is the element. Every element is in a list is a sub list, and its first element is 2. It is the first sub list. First sub list, second sub list. First element is 5. Does that make sense to everyone? In this way, the first time only one time, because it will show.
Sir, can you show your command once?
2 times. And here it is 2 times, and later on it is 1 time only.
Sir, can you show your command once? L1, L2, L3.
Okay.
I wanted to note that.
Okay, command.
Yes,
now
sir.
it's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait a minute.
It's very simple to merge the list. Okay. We have seen how to access the item. We also see here. I want to access the Nepal. How could I access it? So L3, from L3 I want to access, and not from the L2. So L3 I have it is a second sublist basically. Primary, if we see, it is a second sublist. It is in the L2. So I will use 2 times square bracket. Okay, that is second sublist. In the second sublist, it is third element. It is third element. So for element, we use the single bracket. And I run this. So I will get the Nepal. Got it? At the final element, I will write in the single square bracket Got it? Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt now? Okay, there is no doubt to anyone. So this now we see how we could convert a list in a vector. So we have the first list. You see it is a numeric. So I want to convert. If we see the class of L1, so it is a list, and I want to convert this list in a vector. So what I will do, I am writing vec1, and there is a function unlist, and I will write the name of the list, what I want to convert, and I run this. Now I will show you vec1. So it is a vector now, it is not a list. Or I will see the class of this. It is a numeric class. Does that make sense to everyone? So we could convert the list in a vector if we require as a vector. I also convert the second list, which is a list of the name of the countries. So I see also the class of that list first. And that list name is L2. So it is a list. And I am making a vec2 for that. Unlist L2. I will show you the vec2. So it is now in this form. Now I see the class of this. It is a character class. Automatically we got the character class. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone? How to convert the list?
Sir, can you show your command vec1 command, vec command after class L1?
This
Yes,
class
sir.
L1.
Yes, sir. That's yeah. From there.
If you run the class L1, it is a list. Okay. Then vector one, I have given an object name. You could give any object name. Okay. I am unlisting this L1. So it will convert in vector.
Okay, sir.
And then I convert, it will come in horizontal form. If you run L1, it will be a vertical form. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This is the difference between vector and list. If we print the list, it will be vertical print. And if we print the vector, it is a horizontal. And if you see the class, it automatically take the class, whether it is numeric or character, it take automatically as per the elements. If the elements is under quotes, so it will give the character, or it is not with quote, it is the numeric, then it will give the numeric. Okay. So these were all about the list. Now we see the third data type, which is a matrix, but it is we don't use these in the data analytics too much. It is used in the machine learning and the artificial intelligence only. the programming part. I will explain you that thing. We will study that also, the data frame. Rajendram, in the data frame, we convert them in Excel sheet. Okay. That is also a data type. Do you know about the matrix? How many of you know, or how many of you don't know about the matrix? What is matrix? Do you know something? Do you have some idea about the matrix? Yeah. Have you read the matrix sometime in your school? Can someone tell me what is matrix? It is a construction in row and column. A number may be the character also in the table form. Okay. Matrix is an arrangement. It is an array. Array means the arrangement. Okay. It is an array of elements in row and column. It is only the arrangement. We could not find out the value of matrix. It is just the arrangement of elements. Either it may be numeric or it may be character or whatever. Okay. It is in the rectangular format. So I will show you how to create a matrix. I am taking 1 to 12 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 integers. With 12 integers, how many matrix I could create? So I could create with 12 1 row and 12 column. I can create 12 row and 1 column, 2 row and 6 column, 6 row and 2 column, 3 row and 4 column, 4 row and 3 column. Is it correct? This different matrix I could create through 12 elements. Either I could create 1 by 12 or 12 by 1 or 2 by 6, 6 by 2. You see the multiplication is 12 always. So I am creating a 3 by 4 matrix here. Okay. So I will show you first attribute of this matrix syntax is the data. I have put the data 1 to 12. Second attribute is the number of row. So number of row, I could write the keyword also if you want number of row. Number of row is 3. Do not requirement to write the number of column, because we know we have fed the number of elements and we have mentioned the number of rows. It will automatically divide the total element by 3 and get the number of column. Okay, we don't need to write the number of column. And those two attributes are required attributes. These are the compulsory attributes. You have to write these two. There are more attributes. I will explain one by one later on. And I make a matrix with this. You see, this is my matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You see the numbers are in the column way. 1, 2, 3. I want the number 1, 2, 3, 4 in this way, horizontal wise. by row wise. It is the column wise. So I will show you. This I will show you. Look at this. This is the data. First attribute. Second attribute is number of row. Third is the number of column. Number of column we don't requirement to write. If you are writing the number of row, it is sufficient. By row false in default. So we are getting the number by column. 1, then 2, then 3 in this way, column wise. If I write here true instead of false, then I will get by row and dimension names, the name of row and column. So I will explain you one by one. Here I just show by row true. Always write the capital T, or you could write the true in this way, whole capital. Okay. These two things you could use here. And you see the difference in both the matrix. Could watch the difference. In the first matrix, the elements are arranged by column 1, 2, 3. In the second matrix, the elements are arranged by row 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the attribute by row we have added on it. In default, it is by row is false. It always arrange in by column. And then the dimension names. That is the function dim names, not the function attributes. Attribute is dim names. Or dim names, we use the list here because we use two vector, one for row and another for column. And these two vector we could not use separately. We have to use some data type in which we could put that two vector. So that data type is list. We could put so many vectors in a list. So in dim names, we will use the list. In list, we use the vector. Vector for row name and vector for column name. So first vector would be for the row name. So row name I am writing here 3 by 4. So the row name first R1, R2 and R3. In this way I am giving the row name. Always use the quotes. R1. You could give some other name also. I am giving here R1, R2, R3. Okay. Don't worry. Either you are using single quote or double quote, or you are using the mix. Don't worry about it. This is the column name, C1. Okay. Then comma, C2. Then comma, C3. We have 4 columns. I will write the 4 column names. Got it? So I will do one thing. So now you could get the whole syntax here itself, or I could take here also. So in this way, I have taken the minimum width to write this syntax. This is my data. This is the number of row. By row is true here, and dimension names I have given R2, R3, R4 for rows, and the C1.
Sir, can you repeat this part once, because my internet connection had snapped, so I could not hear what you had said.
We are giving this dimension names. Dimension name, the names of row and names of columns. These are names of, these are the rows and these are the columns. So I want to give the name to this row and column. So we are using the dimension names attribute. And this attribute we use the list. In list we use two vector, one for the row and one for the column name. Does that make sense to everyone? So dim names is the dimension names. Dimension is a row and column. Vijay Anand, got it? Dim names is the dimension name. It is the short form, dim names. Okay. So I run this. And now you see there is a C1, C2, C3, C4, R1, R2. Okay. Now I give one name to this matrix, M1. And Suryadeep Singh showing error. In your syntax, you see where you have did mistake. What error it is showing? Can you copy paste it? Suryadeep.
So it is showing unexpected string constant.
Unexpected string constant. You look at my screen and you see you did somewhere some mistake. Have you used one more comma at the end? You see somewhere in the
Checking,
vector.
sir. Checking, sir.
Check it properly.
So I have written exactly what you have written.
In spite of that, it is giving the error.
Yes, sir.
Just I copy and paste it in chat box. You copy and paste and you run this. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
No problem. If you are mixing double code and single code, I have mixed here. No problem. Either you could use single or double or both. Capital M. It is a capital M I have written, not the small m. Okay, it is the object name, correct? Mega. It is a case sensitive language. Always be careful about the lower and upper case. Suryadeep, what happened now?
So I have copy and pasted, but still it is not working.
Still it is not working.
No, sir. Some kind of it is just replying with the plus sign, and
Replying with the plus sign. You see how many brackets are there in your syntax. You copy paste it. How many? Here are
There are
three.
three brackets. Yes, sir. Three brackets.
And you put the cursor after that bracket, and
Yes, sir.
first you remove that plus sign. How do you remove that plus sign? You require here in the prompt sign.
Okay.
Do you have the prompt sign here? No.
Yes, sir.
Have prompt sign. Then you put the
Yes.
cursor here. Then run it again.
Still with facing same problem.
Same problem.
Yes, sir.
Are you attending also on the same laptop?
No, sir. I'm attending on different.
So that's very difficult to understand.
So you can continue. I'll ask you later.
Okay. If you have copy and paste it, then it should not do any error. Okay. Should not do any error. So this is the matrix I have created. Sometimes what we do, we create some matrix. Suppose like this. And I may do some other. Six elements and n row, 2 rows, 2 by 3 matrix I'm going to create, and I'm not putting anything. You see, this is my matrix. Or this matrix I have created on the top of my script, and I'm now I am at 500, 600th row, and I don't want to go there to fill these dimension names in that syntax. And I want to give here, I know the matrix name, object name M2, and I want to assign the name here to row and columns. Without approaching the basic syntax. For row names, I have a function row.names. And here I will write the matrix name in which I want the row names. And then I will use on the right side a vector where I will put the, okay, I think that you turn off once R and again you reopen it and you see what happens. Okay, close it and reopen RStudio. Then see what happens. Then so here I'm giving we have a 2 row and 3 columns. So we have 2 rows only. So we give the 2 name, row 1 and row 2. So first is row 1 and second is row 2. Does that make sense to everyone? And I run this. And I will show you M2 now. Look at this. Automatically it attached over there in my matrix. Row 1 and row 2. And this is a left a two-way function. We could say that here is it is not a object name, or object name doesn't have any bracket. Here there is no bracket in vec2, but here is a bracket. It means it is function. And in this sort of function, right hand side we always get a vector. Yeah, equal sign you could use, no problem, Neelam.
But sir, to get the outcome again, we have to give the command row dot names m2. Then only I will get, right?
Row dot names, because we forget to give the name, and that I want to give from outside it, and I don't want to go to the basic syntax where I have written for that matrix. I don't want to search that in my script somewhere
Yes, sir.
it is.
That's true. But the way you explained, like row dot names, then m2 you have written in
Huh.
brackets. So you said it's no more object name, rather
It is
it's a
not
function.
it is not an object, it's a function. When you are
Okay.
getting on the left side any bracket with something, then it is a function, it is not an object.
But what that function denotes to know, again I have to run that function name, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Now for the call names, we have the call, not the call dot names, only call names. Okay, so there is M2. I want to give some call names. There are 3 columns. So I will give the call names, 3 call names, C1, C2, C3. I am just writing C1, comma, C2, comma, C3. And C3s would be in quotes. Okay. And I run this. And I will show you the M2 now. This is my M2. Does that make sense to everyone?
How about you?
Is it?
Mom, I don't want to go check. Yeah, I finally do like this.
Okay. So it is about the how to create a matrix. Now, if we have a matrix, we want to access some item from that matrix. As we know that the M1 matrix row, in which row it is? It is in the second row and the second column. So I will write in a square bracket second row, comma, second column, and I will get that 6. Does that make sense to everyone? The similar as we have done in the list and the vector. But if I want the whole row, I want the third row, then what I will do? M1 in the square bracket for row I will write the 3, and after comma I don't write anything. It will show me all columns with third row. You see, if I want a particular column, fourth column, so M1 and I will put first comma. It means before comma I have not written everything. It means every row I will get here, and after comma I will write the column number, which is the 4, and I will get all columns, all rows, sorry, fourth column and all rows. So I will show you the fourth column, 4, 8, 12, 4, 8, 12. Get? So now I want, again I run M1 because it will be visible. It is visible, no problem. I want.
But sir, why the 4, 8, 12 is coming in a row form, not in a column form?
Which one? This 4?
4, 8, 12, yeah.
This one? Because we have
Last
put
command.
the comma first. We have put the comma.
That's fine, sir. But output console, the representation of the output is like row form, 4, 8,
No,
12,
it is
not
a
in a column.
vector form. Basically, it is a vector form. It gives the output in a vector form.
So row vector, right?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay. So now I want to choose some particular row and column elements. From the first column, I want only 1 and 9, the first row and third column, and I require the third column, first and third column. Yeah, first or fourth column I require. First and fourth column and first and third row. No? First, third row and first and fourth column. Is it clear? So what I will do for first and third row and which column? First and fourth column. Does that make sense to everyone? If you have more than one row and column, we use the C, combine. Vector we will use inside. And then I run. So I will get this. Got it, everyone? Is there any doubt?
Sir, syntax is 1 and 3. So 1 is row and third is column.
No, 3 is also row.
Okay.
First and third row.
Okay. First and third complete row.
First and third row complete
column.
And first and fourth complete column.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So where it will intersect, it will give us that value.
Sure.
Shortcut. Square bracket shortcut. Just you put the square bracket, then it will get both open side and close side square. There is no any shortcut. You just use the square. It will give the both open, close both. Okay. So this was all about how to access the elements, or you could change the value of the element. And this and everything we have got here. Now, we see the operations in matrix. There are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division in the matrix. Actually, matrix, we could not divide the matrix to matrix. But here, we do the corresponding elements we divide in the matrix. We treat matrix as a table. Okay, so the corresponding elements we work with. Okay. Okay, so can you show me your screen? Siddiq, show me your screen, what you are getting there. Are you working on the same system where you are attending the Zoom?
I kept getting error, unexpected symbol in dimensions.
Okay. What error are you getting? Can you copy paste the error?
All right, sir. I'll write it down.
Copy paste the error. Yeah. Siddiq?
Yes, sir. I'm almost done.
Yeah, you copy paste the error here so I could see, or you could share the screen here.
So I've sent it. Can you
Or
see?
can you copy paste the syntax you have written over there? Just copy paste the syntax. What you have written?
I should copy and paste the sentence.
Copy paste the syntax you have written.
Sorry, sir, I don't get it. The
Just
function.
I will show you how to do it. I'll show you my screen.
Yes.
This is my syntax, suppose. So you copy this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Control C and put on the chat box and Control V. Okay. Do that. Do that.
All right, sir. Okay, I did that. So should I run it now?
You paste here.
Yeah, I've pasted it. Am I pasting it from that same place where I copied it, or where am I pasting it?
Copy, then paste. Control V. Control V. V for van.
Yes, I copied.
Put.
Control C. Then I have pasted it again.
For pasting, you use the Control V.
Yes,
just
sir.
put the cursor here and Control V.
Yes, I've done that. Yes, I have done that, sir.
But I am not getting here in the chat box.
Sir, you know what? Just continue. Let me delay the others.
Control V. This is Control V. Then Control, then V. You do.
I'm working on my laptop, but I'm using Zoom on my phone, on my mobile.
Okay, and the syntax you are writing in that laptop. Okay. That's the problem. Sorry. So can you show your that? Okay, what we can do? We could not do much thing here. Okay. No problem. Let's we continue. That the little syntax somewhere the mistake if you do, then it happens. Okay. Okay, so this is the all about. Now we see the operation. The operation for operation I am making to column to M2. Now we have to create another matrix then. Yeah. We could add the column in the data frame. Okay. Now we see the operation M1 and M2. I am making two matrix. You know that M2 matrix is 2 rows, and another matrix I am making M3, and this matrix is with 1:6, 6 elements, and here also I am putting the row, 2 rows, 2 by 3, the same order matrix I am making as matrix 2. Sorry. So if you see the matrix 3, it is 2 by 3 matrix. And if you see the matrix 2, it is also 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, both matrix is 2 by 3. I again run this, so I don't want the name here. So matrix 2 is this one, and matrix 3 is this one. Got it? These two matrix I have of the same order. Now I want to add the matrix. Yeah, matrix 2 and matrix 3. So I will just write M2 plus M3. And I run this. So this is my M2 plus M3. And I want to subtract 2 matrix, minus M3. I want to multiply the corresponding elements only. It is multiplication. I want to divide. It is the division of matrix. The corresponding elements, first element with first element, second with second, third with third, in this way. Now I want some matrix multiplication. If somebody know the knowledge of matrix multiplication, we require the order of the first. It means the first matrix, number of column in the first matrix must be equal to the number of row in the second matrix. So here what I am doing, here I have created 2 by 3 matrix. Here also I have created 2 by 3. So here I am creating 3 by 2. So now I will show you both matrix again, M2 and M3. So this is the M2, 2 by 3. It is the M3, it is the 3 by 2. So I explain you how does this multiplication works. Previous multiplication is very simple. It is just the corresponding elements we are. So as you see here, there is the first 2 matrix and the third matrix, or we are adding it. So 2 plus 1 is 3, 9 plus 2 is 11, 0 plus 3 is 3, 1 plus 4 is 5, in this way. So similarly, we are multiplying the elements. 2 into 1 is 2, where we have multiplied it. And 9 into 2 is 18, in this way. Or similarly, we have divided. It's okay. It's the simple thing. But in the matrix multiplication, what we do? So I do with the same, what we have 1 and 207 914. This is our M2, 207 914. And this is our M3, I will see that it is 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. These are our 2 matrix, and its order is number of row and then number of column, or here number of row and then number of columns. So number of row, number of column in the first matrix must equal to number of row in the second matrix. And the finally we will get, when we multiply M2 asterisk M3, we get 2 by 2. We get 2 by 2 matrix, whatever remain. So how we multiply it, I will explain you this matrix multiplication. We have to multiply first row with first column, corresponding elements. First element with first, second with second, and third with third, and then add on it. So 2 into 1 plus 0 into 2 plus 7 into 3. Look at this. Are you getting it? Is it clear to everyone? How I am multiplying? 2 with 1, 0 with 2, and 7 with 3. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Now first row and second column. So this I have to multiply. So 2 into 4 plus 0 into 5 plus 7 into 6. Now second row and first column. So 9 into 1 plus 1 into 2 plus 4 into 3. And second row and second column. 9 into 4 plus 1 into 5 plus 4 into 6. Does that make sense to everyone? Now we simplify this. 2, 0, 21, 8, 0, 42, 9, 2, 12, 36, 5, 24. It is 23, it is 50, it is 12, 14, 9, 23 again. It is 36 and 60, 60 and 5, 65. Does that make sense to everyone? Is there any doubt? And the same process we do in R. So what I will do when I will use the matrix multiplication, then M2 percent asterisk percent M3, and I will see this. You see the result is same. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. So in this way, we could multiply the matrix. Now, if you have to find the determinant of the matrix, so we require the square matrix. So it is a square matrix. You see, this is a square matrix 2 by 2. So I give some name to this. I am giving the name M4. And I run this. So M4, if I type, I will get this matrix. And it is a square matrix, and I want the determinant of this. So it is very simple for me.
Sir, some error is coming, non-comfortable arguments. M2 percent into percent M3.
Percent asterisk percent.
Yes, sir.
M3.
M2 percent asterisk percent M3.
Yeah.
It is error is coming like non-comfortable arguments.
Have you run that M2 and M3? You have written in a small M2, M3.
No, sir, it's capital only.
No, it is the character. You have run the M2 and M3 somewhere, the matrix.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I've run.
It is capital M or small m in that?
Capital M, sir. Capital M.
Here you are writing small m?
No, sir, it's a capital again.
Hmm?
Capital again.
Okay, no, you have typed here the small, no? Vijay. M2 and M3 is small, you have typed in the chat box.
No, sir, I'm not chat box. I didn't type.
Okay, you are.
Shall I give it to you? See, sir.
Okay, can you copy and paste it?
Yes, sir. I have given, sir. See, M2 percent into percent. M3. Is it fine?
It is right.
Yes, sir. And see.
And what's the error? You also send me the error. Copy paste the error.
Yes, sir. Non-comfortable arguments. Is it because once I run by mistake M2 percent, double percent, then M3?
No, it
Then
is a
again,
single percent, na? Single percent we have to write. I
where?
have written single percent we have to use both the side. 1%.
Yes, sir.
One.
So, yeah, by mistake, I forgot to put asterisks. But again, I am putting asterisks, then even it's not coming.
Okay.
Is it because of that error?
No, no, no. You run M2 and M3 first again.
Yes, sir. I run M2.
And M3. The
Yeah,
first
then
and
I
second and
got,
third matrix.
yeah.
You run that matrix syntax first. And have you given some space between them?
No, sir.
Hmm?
I didn't give space. See, sir, I'm giving the full command run what you suggested.
No, here is a space I am watching in the error side.
See, sir. Have you seen? I have run M2, then M3.
But you know that there is a it will not work because you are taking the same order.
Means, sir?
Same order matrix you are using, na? 2 by 3,
Yes, sir.
2 by 3. But
Yes,
you
sir.
see the order here. I will show you the order for that matrix. You see the M3 order is 3 by 2.
Okay.
I have changed the order, na?
Oh,
What I explained, the number of column in first matrix should equal to the number of row in second matrix.
okay.
Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir. And
You
how do
change
we
the
change?
order. You write here 3 instead of 2 in M3. You write 3. You see in the my screen, it is n row is 3
Yes,
on
sir. Yes, sir.
M3.
M-row is 3, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, so
you put the
M3, I will just make 3. That's it, right?
that's it, and run it, and yeah, then you run that command. It will work.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Now, I want to find out the determinant of this. Determinant we could get the square matrix only. Determinant value is 345. Okay. In the matrix, we require sometime inverse of matrix. For inverse of matrix, we could find out with the square matrix and whose determinant is not singleton. The determinant should not be 0. So here the determinant is not 0. It is 345. And the matrix is the square matrix. We always get the determinant of the square matrix. Or I would like to find out the inverse of this. So I am giving the name M5 for inverse. And before that, I have to run one library, which is called, you have to install that library, Matlib. After that, you could use a function in for inverse. And here you write the matrix name, and that is the M4. And I will show you the M5.
Hello, sir. Sorry, please. Can you show how you run the inverse again? How you installed it before running it?
Yeah, what happened?
I mean, can you go over how you install the inverse before you run it?
Yeah, we have to install it. We have to install it, Matlib. How do we install? I will show you.
Okay.
You go to the package. Are you getting my screen?
Yeah, I am.
Go to these packages.
Okay.
Click on it. You will get here install option.
Okay.
So you click here, and here you write that library name, the package name, that is the Matlib.
Okay.
Okay, it is a Matlib. And then you install it. Or always there should be checked install dependency. It should not be blank. There should be checked.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is dependence? Dependencies, install dependencies.
Some small libraries must come with it, which are sometimes helpful.
Okay, so it always be checked, right?
Just like a children. The parents,
so
with parents, the children are compulsory.
Okay, so it will always be checked, right?
Yeah. Sometimes the dependence is the few more libraries on which this library depends, because this library functions is sometimes they are creating some function, and inside that function they are using some other function which are they
Okay.
have used from some other library.
Yeah, yeah.
So that library should also come with it.
Okay.
Is it clear to
Like
you?
what happened, sir? Yesterday
The
I was
parent library
installing the
must, yeah.
yeah. Yesterday I was installing a car package.
Hmm.
So car package is unpacked, but when
Hmm.
I'm running the library, it is showing the error. There is no package called car.
Hmm.
But I got shocked. Means why it is happening so?
Okay.
And even in the library there was no package installed. Means I went to my library where the folder I have saved it. So
Yeah, yeah.
in the folder
No, no,
there
no.
is no
You
car
could
package.
see the what are the packages here. You could see here. When you click the package, you could see here the package, what you have, what you don't have. Or you could put here search. If you have a car package, if I write, you see here a car package, you see.
Yeah, the thing is, sir, a package is installed in my laptop, but once I run the library, it says there is no package called car.
But you could see the package here na first. You look after the package here. If the package is here in this
Yes.
list, then it could run. You search it out. That package is there or not.
Not there, sir, not there.
So you have changed the path when you have installed the R.
Yes, sir. During installation of the R, I changed the path. I went
But
to the
that's
D
the
drive.
reason. That's the reason. It don't
Okay.
change the path when you install the R. It should be in the C drive wherever the path it has already default path you have to use.
Oh, default path should be there, na?
Hmm.
Okay, then great,
Otherwise
sir.
we have
Thanks.
to change the path. It's a long process. Then you could do some mistake over here.
Yeah, because see, sir, car data is coming. Car is not coming. Car data
Yeah.
is there. So this package which you are showing, sir, the icon. It is like CRAN package. It is taken from CRAN.
Crane is a repository we have the respiratory, and
Yes.
from where we get this
Yeah.
repository,
So, sir,
from
the
where we get.
package icon which you are showing in your console. So it is repository of CRAN. Like all
The
the packages are coming.
repository is a crane repository provide you the packages.
Okay. So, sir, like once I will install package in my laptop, then only it will show to the package icon where you are searching.
Whenever you could search here. I have shown you now in packages. You could search here. It is installed or not. As
Okay.
I
If it
see
is
the
installed,
mat,
then only it will come.
huh, if I see the matlib, you see that it is a check because it is running. I have imported it.
Yes, sir.
If I unchecked it and if I run the inverse command now, it will not work. It will give me the error.
Oh,
You see, it is
yes,
giving me
sir.
the error. So we have to run a command to for the check it. Otherwise, I could check here, or I will write the library matlib. So it will automatically check. You will see. I just run it, and you will see here. It will automatically. I will get the check sign. What it?
Yes, sir. But sir, I run the library matlib, but it is not checked option automatically.
You write the library matlib.
Yes, sir. Written. I have written library matlib.
Or
Then
there
I
is a
run.
matlib library you have installed.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It is in your here. Are you getting it in your list of the packages?
Yes, sir.
It should work.
Matlib is showing, but there is no check on the box.
You could check manually, and you try to use the inverse function.
Okay, sir. Inverse function shall I try?
INV. That is an inverse function.
Okay, sir. Wait.
Okay, you could use it. Oh,
INV.
Excuse me, sir. I'm running it. It's just running, and flashing some red and red. I don't know.
Sir, it is saying could not find function NV.
INV.
Yes, sir. And error is this, sir. See, library. After running library, there was one error. I'm sharing with you.
So is this MATLAB library is too much, like it's
Here is
very
sir,
big or what?
error.
I will show you. Just a moment.
And there is matlib was built under R version 5353 is coming.
sometimes it don't work, but okay, I will search it out. You could search it out on the net also why it is not working.
Yeah. So sir,
Package of
like if any package I will install, then only it will reflect in this console, right?
yeah, yeah.
If it is successfully installed, and there should be check on the box, right? If it is not checked,
Then there may be some mistake. You see that the warning message, the package Matlib was built under R version 3.5. It is a warning message only. It is not a error.
oh
It is a warning message. Don't bother about the warning
yeah,
message.
but
But
sir,
here is the error is this one: package or namespace load failed to Matlib in load space. So it has been failed. It is not loaded in your system.
because of sir C drive
There is no
issue.
package called NITR. So first you download the NITR package.
Okay.
KNITR, NITR. So the same process you follow to download the NITR package. You go to the package and install and NITR. You will get here NITR package.
Yes sir.
Okay.
KNITR.
First install this and then install the Matlib. Okay.
And then run library NITR, right?
Yeah. First install the NITR.
Yes sir. I installed and run the library also.
And then you install that Matlib. Try to install now. And see the error come or not. Showing the error or not.
Matlib again download.
Again down. Install it.
Okay sir. Installing. Sometimes I face these issues, sir, maybe because of C and D drive mismatch, I think. Yes sir. By the time I was supposed to free the C drive and I put the software in D, I thought it will run fast. So I changed the path. That's why. Yes sir. Matlib library I run. No sir, still it is saying that could not find function INV.
It may be you have changed the path, I think.
Yeah, I will leave it sir. I will sort it out.
You do it. First you uninstall that from that path.
Yes,
remove it and then reinstall it. Then you could get it.
Yeah. But sir, in none of the package is checked in my laptop. Everything is unchecked in the box.
So that's the problem, I think.
Okay, it must be checked. Like sir, in your console also, like see sir, ACE pack, it is unchecked.
No, all are unchecked because whatever I am using will be checked only.
Okay, once I will run the library.
I have imported only the library Matlib.
Okay. That's why it's checked.
Yeah. I have imported the Matlib, na? So it is.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Got it?
Got it. Thank you.
Install the so many packages which are on which our library is depending. Okay. So we see the inverse of this. We have got this one. And if you multiply any number with its reciprocal, what will happen? If you multiply 5 with reciprocal of 5, which is 1 over 5, what you will get here?
1.
1. Similarly, in the matrix, if we are multiplying a matrix with its inverse, so we will get an identity matrix of the same order. So that is the identity matrix, where the diagonal is 1 and the off diagonal is 0. This is the identity matrix. So we should get this if I multiply M5 and M4, M4 and M5 is the inverse of M4. So if I multiply these two, I should get the identity matrix or not?
Yes.
So I try it. I check it. M4 percent matrix percent M5, and I run
So
this.
why are we using this percentage? Why can't we just put the asterisks and multiply?
No, it is the matrix multiplication. It is not a that multiplication like simple multiplication.
Regular multiplication. Vector multiplication, we can use asterisks directly.
See here. What the identity matrix or not? Does that make sense to you? We have got that identity matrix here. I have taken the round of these values. Okay. If you round off this, it will be 1. If you round off this, it will be 0. Okay. So you have got this. Now we have a next data type, which is array. An array, I want to create I will not go in deep in the array. I just tell you how to create an array. I am making an array of 18 elements. And I am making 2 matrix in one array. Array is a multi-dimensional. I will show you the definition so you could better understand. Array are the R data object which can store data in more than 2 dimensions. Okay, here it is like a cube. You know that the magic cube we use to play. So that is that like that cube. We have a matrix and the one matrix, then another in this way. Okay, that is the array. So we are making an array, and we are giving the dimension. Dimension means how many matrix or what dimension of the matrix first we write. First we write the dimension of the matrix. We are at 9 elements in one matrix. We have the 18 elements, and we want 2 matrices, the array of 2 matrices. So then the first matrix we are getting 3 by 3 elements, means the 9 elements in first and line 9 in 2. So 3 by 3 matrix we want both, and we want 2 matrices. And I run this. You will see these arrays I have got. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. So this is the array. We don't have to go in deep. Just I'm showing you how to create the array. I will not go in deep now. We'll see the data frame, what we have to use in.
So what is 332?
3 is the number of row. Then next 3 is the number of column. And 2 is the 2 matrix. First is this and second is this.
Okay.
Okay. If I increase the element, if I take here 27, and here I write 3, then I could get the 3. I have 27 elements. So 1, 2, 3. Got it? Multi-dimension. I could take so many. It's like a cube. Okay. So these are the arrays. Now we see our next data types, which is a data frame, which is very important for us. We work on a data frame. Now, Excel sheet data frame is just like Excel sheet. It's the same thing. Or we don't create data frame here in the script or in the console. We perform our data entry in the Excel, or through some software, whatever we get that data. But here I will show you how to create a data frame in R. Practically we don't use it, but I will show you. So I don't waste my more time. So I will do it fast. we could better understand. So first I explained data frame is a table or two-dimensional array-like structure in which each column contains values of one variable and each row contains one set of values of each column. One column is a vector. Every column is a vector here. Okay. And you see that here I have written the following are the characteristics of data frame. The column name should be non-empty. There should be some column name when you are creating it. The row name should be unique. Row name should be unique. If you are giving the row names, otherwise the row index will come, or you could give some row name also. It should be unique. The two rows should not have the same name. The data stored in the data frame can be numeric, factor, or the character type in the each column. Each column should contain same number of data items. It doesn't mean that in the first column you have entered 15 items and the second column you have entered 20 items. It is not possible. Same number of items must be there in each column. Means the same number of observations. So here the function is the data dot frame. The first, I am making the 4 vector here inside that. This is the first column, V1 is the first vector. I am putting the 5 numeric value. In the V2 also 5 numeric value, and the V3 also 5 numeric value. And finally in the V4 I am putting some name of the subjects. Okay. So I am putting some name of the subjects in 4. And if I just run this and I run this, so you will see if I print this data frame, it is now, this is my data frame. Or if I want to view it, so I could write the view, V is capital here, view df. So I could view the data frame here. Okay. And I could also write this data frame in my system. Okay. So I will explain you tomorrow how to write the data frame in our system. Different format. We are not going that way. Now I want that the column is V1, V2, class 7th and subjects. So 4 columns as the names function. Okay. Am I audible to you now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because the internet connection is lost. No. Now it's okay. So for the column names function is a default for the column, not for the row. So names df, and here I will write the vector for the subject, column names. And if I show you now, it is the class 5th, class 6th, class 7th and subjects. Automatically it will work over there. And now I want to give the row names also. You see the row names is the index here now. Row name, instead of row name, there is indexing from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to give some row names. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. These are the row names. So row dot names function, as we have used in the matrix, the same we are using here for the row names. And I will show you the df now. So it is my df data frame. It is the column names and row names. Everything is now systematic. And you could see here also. Okay. And if I show you the structure of this df, so you will see whenever we read the data frame, first we see the structure of the data frame. In the structure of data frame, it is a data frame, 5 observations, 4 variables, and these are all the variable names. The variable name is class 5th, the class 6th and class 7th, and all these 3 variables are numeric except this subject. Subject is the 4th one, which is a character in nature. So if I show you the summary of this df, summary is a 6-point summary we get in the numeric variables. 6-point summary, we get the minimum value of that variable, first quartile of that variable, mean of that variable, median of that variable, third quartile of that variable, and the 6th one is the maximum value of that variable in the numeric variable. So I will show you. You see, this is the first variable. The minimum value is 21. in that variable. The quartile is 30, median is 34, mean is 41.4, third quartile is 45, and the maximum is 77. Similarly for other two numeric variables. But in the character, in the categorical variable, you see which is the character class here, and we are not getting any output here. We are just getting the length 5 in the class character and the mode. We should know how many times English is there, how many times maths is there. We should know this frequency. So this the English is 2 times and the science is 2 times. We should know these things in the categorical variable. So what we do, we convert that that character in a factor form. So how we convert this? So we write this df. I will show you how we do that. I remove this and I type again so you could better understand. Df, this is the data frame name. Then put the dollar. When you write the dollar sign there, then you get the drop down menu of the name of the variables. You select the name of the variable and then assign, and s dot factor function we use. Previously we have used the s dot numeric. Now we are using the x dot factor. We are converting this in factor. So df dollar subjects. Now I will show you the structure first. So this is my structure. Here is instead of that character, as we have seen here, it was character. Now it is a factor with 3 levels: English, math, and science. Does that make sense to everyone? Now I will show you the summary. You see the summary here. Now in this summary is the same as it was, but here in the summary of the subject, which was the character, now it is a factor. In the factor, after converting the factor, you see the English has 2 times English, 1 maths, and 2 science. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Now, how to extract the data from data frame? So we could use the column name, or we could use the index. So it is the column name. If we are taking, we don't have to use the comma and everything. Just put the column name in a quotes, and you could get it. And the class 5th, you know that the class 5th column, if I show you, the class 5th is this one. If I run this, so I will get this class 5th. If I run only the first column, that is a class 5th. And if I run this, because the column before after comma I have to write, we have seen this earlier, and this is the only give me the value. If I require 2 columns, so I could write in the combine as a vector, I could write in square bracket, and I will get these 2 columns. I could also use the indexing for the column after comma, and this is the same I am getting. I want some particular value, the 3rd row and the 4th column. The 3rd row, 4th column value, if you see, 3rd row and 4th column value is science. So if I 3, 4, I will get the science here. You want to change the name of the 1 column only. I will show you. I have changed later on this script. DF, now I want few days, day 2 and day 5 data, and only 6th class and subject. This is the number of rows I am, and there is a column. And if I want the day 2 data for columns, so I will get in this way. Now I will show you the row names of third row name. I will show you. It is the day 3. I want to change this row name, so I will write the 3. I want this instead of this. You see here is a 3, day 3. I want here change some like 3. If I run this, so I will get it 3. Similarly, in the column, you are asking how to change the name only in a particular column. So there is a third column I want to change. Third column, if you see, there is a class 7. Instead of that, I want to write the class 9. So I am changing the column name. In this way, I could change the column name. Names df. Okay, names is for the column name. Row dot names is for the row names. So you could change the row names also. You could change the column names also. So you could change this in this way. Now I will show you that the column name is class 9. Okay. It is okay, Lakshmi. Sir, can filters be performed for data columns? Yeah, we could perform that filters, but we have some other libraries we use over there. That is a part of data pre-processing. So that would be in our advanced, our intermediate session. You will learn that data pre-processing. Okay. So here we could change the value, as I earlier explained you how to change the value. And adding row and columns, I will explain you tomorrow. And here is a factor. Somewhere is confusion in the factor. Somebody says the factor is a data type, or some says it is a class of a vector. Okay, so in spite of that, we learn it as a data type. Factors are the data objects which are used to categorize the data and store it as levels. 1, 2, 3 is in this way. They can store both strings and integers. They are useful in the columns which have a limited number of unique values, like male, female, and the very few unique values, as I explained you earlier in the first session. We convert them, the discrete variables, whatever, having very few variables, few values, we convert them in factor. And I explained you earlier in the first session. They are very useful in the statistical modeling. So we create a vector first. And I am creating a vector. I am not creating a factor first. This is a vector I am creating. And I ask is dot factor v1. So it will say false because it is a vector. It is not a factor. Okay, so the factor here, we assume that it is a data type. It is a class, and it is not showing that it is a vector. So that if we see the class of this, it is a class is character. It is a factor. It is a vector, and a class is character. It is not a factor. And if I see how many unique values are there, so I see there are 4 unique values: east, north, west, and south. So how does it get these unique values? It is the non-duplicate values. So it is the east, it write first time, and then see north is also the first time, so it will write here. Then east is again, so it will not write here. It is a duplicate value. West is first time, so it is right here. It is a unique. The first time, it is not duplicate. The west is second time, it is duplicated, will not write. North is duplicated because it has already been taken. South is first time, so it is taken here. So in this way, it will arrange it. Okay. And if I convert this in factor, so you see I am giving a V2 name here because I want to keep both separate. So if I ask for V2, is it factor or not? So it is true, it is a factor now. And if I type this, so you will see the difference in both. In the both print, if I print first one, V1, if I print, you see the difference. In the V1, when it is a vector, you see the difference, it is in the quotes. And in the factor, it is not in quotes. And there is a label is given in the factor: east, north, south, and west. So this label is as per the dictionary. East, E come first, and later and the S and W. But in the unique, it is in a different way. It is as a sequence it comes. Okay. So I will show you. If I want to change these labels are not good for me. So I want to change these labels. So I show you what's the problem here in this label. It is the north and south and east and west. And here you see the east is first. And then I go to north and then south and then west. That is a very zigzag. I want some clockwise direction. North, east, south and west in this way. I want in this way. I want in this way. So I want to change the labels. I want to correct these labels. So I will see what I will do. So what I do, I will make V2 like this, the factor. This is my vector V1, which I have created first, this one, this V1. Okay, I'm writing here that vector and then I'm giving the labels. See, north, east, south and west, this direction, north, east, south and west, these labels I am giving it. And you see, if I run this, I will get the north, east, south, west. The labels is now different. The east, north, south, west is the north, east, south, west. This is the first level, second level, third level, fourth level. We have reordered the label. Okay. So now we have one function generating labels, but we don't use it mostly. So what I explain you, GL is the generating labels. We are generating 3 labels with the label name Indore, Bhopal and Ujjain, 4 times each we require. So we will get the 12 entries. And it is not used, mostly it is not being used. So I am getting this Indore 4 times, Bhopal 4 times, Ujjain 4 times. So in this way. And the class of V3, if I show you, it is a factor. Okay. So I think it is all about the today's session. If someone has some query, may ask. Yeah. Mr. Rameshji, you are asking about the video. It is for the Mr. Mukesh will explain you how to get this video and what are the conditions. It is over to you, Mr. Mukeshji.
Praveen sir, I have one query. Like while I installing the library and all getting mismatched, so what shall I do? Shall I uninstall the R or shall I just cut from D drive and put into C drive?
No, you uninstall the R, then reinstall it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thanks. So what's the current version, the recent one, R&R Studio recent version?
Yesterday I mentioned R.0.4, something like that, 3 or 4. R.0.3 is the R programming version, I think.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is, any particular book that you would recommend for the scripts that you think is relevant for further studies?
Yeah, we have some e-books I could share with you.
Okay.
Okay, so I will share in our Google Drive those books, so you could refer it.
Okay, sir.
Foreign author books are those. Okay. So good books of this are. You could refer that. Mr. Ramesh is there, but is asking about Mr. Mukesh. He is asking about how we get the video of this lecture.
See, the video recording of the session, study material and certificate, it's a combined thing which will be given to all the paid participants, those who have paid for the program. And it's very nominal charge. In Indian currency, it's 1,000 rupees. For the USD, it will be 17 USD, 17 USD. So you can pay through Google Pay, Phone Pay, or bank transfer. Please share the book in WhatsApp. Okay. So that's how you will get for the study materials, video recording on the sessions, everyday sessions, That's how you will get, and of course certificate also of the program. So tomorrow is the last day of getting the certificate. Those who want to apply for the certificate, tomorrow will be last day, because tomorrow is Friday. After that, Saturday will be last day of the program. So you won't be able to apply for anything, certificate or study material. So if somebody want to apply for certificate or get the study material or anything, please do it by tomorrow. Any other queries? I think we are done for today, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tomorrow session will be 5 to 7, as I have earlier informed. It will be 2 hours before the session we start. So you will be merged with the previous batch. So 5 to 7. So all of you be here Indian time 5 p.m. So you can check your country time and then you can manage. So thank you very much. Have a nice evening. I think it's late now. All of you must be hungry. So have your dinner. Enjoy your evening. So take care. Those who enjoy the session can click on the reaction button. You can thumbs up or clap for sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.